camp with the trailer or something.
What else was it in the book?
Okay. It is 5:00 PM on Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. And I will call this regular town board meeting of the town of LaPointe to order. Mike Anderson.
Here.
Amy Baxter.
Here.
Susan Brenna.
Here.
Samantha Dobson.
Here.
And Glenn Carlson here. We also have our town clerk with us and 2 members of the audience. Is there any public comment? John?
Tonight, it looks like we're gonna be discussing the police survey. It looks like we might go into closed session with this. I would suggest we go stay in the open session. This is a public survey. You requested the public to fill it out, take the time. It has nothing to do specifically with an employee, how they're working or anything like that. It's all open. And I think unless you're going in a closed survey for some special reason, maybe you didn't get the answers you wanted. But I think you should discuss it open. It's a public survey. Thanks.
Thank you, John. Paul?
Second is motion. Then at the risk of being charged more for, let them council take a look at the work employees' use of town's pickup. I don't see the sense of an employee checking in, filing it, then taking the town pickup to get coffee, make errands, or go back home. Get coffee on the way to work and use their own personal vehicle to go home. We really have to keep expenses down for the taxpayer.
Thank you, Paul. Any other public comment? Okay. Moving on, administrative reports. In lieu of the town administrator's report, I'll just update you on where we are with hiring a new town administrator. I communicated email with Kevin Berner this morning. And we have 6 applicants for the position. And as you may remember, the deadline is next Tuesday. So
This coming Tuesday.
a week from today is the deadline. Okay. And moving right into public, are there any questions? Moving right into public works. As you all know, Ben has given notice. He is taken another position in Washburn, and he will basically his last day is going to be September 13th, 2024. So about 3 weeks notice. And so we have a job posting, which was the job posting, I believe, that we had used before for the Public Works Director. The only thing that we haven't indicated in here, and I don't know if it's important, we haven't indicated a salary. We say salary will be commensurate with experience and qualifications. I don't know if we need to go into any more detail, but I would imagine that the salary is going to be pretty comparable to what Ben was making.
You mean a wage?
Wage, yeah. An hourly wage.
And well, let you finish and then I'll.
Go ahead.
On the very first sentence of this posting, well, we want 4 in there, don't we? The town of LaPointe is looking for a qualified.
Oh, yeah, good
So
catch.
we're gonna put 4.
Good catch.
And then I want to, and I don't know if you guys want to, but I definitely want to talk to Ben. And as outgoing, I want him to tell us what was the success, his area out at the work that he's done for the town for all these years. What was successful about it? With storing the gravel on the north end, was that a successful, we spent a lot of money doing that. Was that a success? Rather than coming back to the airport and getting gravel, was that a success? And he said, I talked to him today, and he said he'd be more than happy to come for the September 10th meeting, and whether it be in closed session or open session, I don't care. And like what problems he has, what problems did he face? So we know going in what to expect, because we're not the Public Works Director. We don't know. I don't know. So anyway, hopefully you guys feel the same. But he said, you know, if you want to do that for your agenda, he said he'd be happy to come.
Yeah, some of that, you know, would clearly be open session and some of that could very well be closed session.
Yeah.
He's talking about his employee.
Yeah. So, okay, could you make sure, Alex, that we put that on the agenda under Public Works for next week, recap of, successes?
I have a question about the posting.
Go ahead.
Where it says that it requires a CDL. Is that something that is a must? I mean, I know it's a must have because we don't have a lot of CDLs here, but
Mhm.
is that something that will eliminate some people that perhaps could get a CDL, not knowing that they needed one? You know what I mean? Like, should it be in preferred instead of required?
Mhm. You know, I don't know that much. We know, of course, that Ben is very hands-on,
Mm-hmm.
has been very hands-on, and has made, you know, use of that license.
And we're losing.
Yeah, and we're
It
losing
says, you know, upon hire, it's a requirement within a time frame.
a certain time frame.
Okay.
I'm just, maybe, because we have such a short window, kind of, because we need to get somebody, I'm just thinking. It was just a question.
No, I think.
No, it's a good question, and I, to piggyback off what Sue just said. Then depending on applicants and depending on, you know, qualifications, blah, blah, blah. What about somebody who's like a manager who knows how to write grants and knows, and they're not a dump truck driver, and they're not a backhoe operator, and those other guys, that's their jobs.
Mhm.
And the other person's just a manager, manages the public works department, but basically
This is
doesn't get
not
dirty.
hands-on.
Yeah, not a hands-on person. And that would depend on, well, who we get for applicants, but
Yeah.
it's something to think about.
Well, now is a good time to think about it. You know, we've got Ben for another 2.5 weeks or so. We're probably not gonna fill the position in that period of time. And
But that's a good question for Ben, you know, does he think that would work?
It's important.
Yeah,
I don't know if that would be a 40-hour-a-week position though. I mean,
but we can work, we can
the
do that too.
management part of the job
might not be.
might not be 40 hours a week, and you need to actually have a CDL to do the stuff that we need done.
So then we
Yeah.
leave it in there probably.
But, you know, I would like to hear Ben's side of it and hear him say, you know, I think that's what you should do, or I think that's a stupid idea. I mean, and then why? I mean, we've never done it.
Well, he didn't, this has been in, I mean, we had this requirement. This wasn't a new requirement. This was.
I know, but I'm talking about
It's been
the
that.
other stuff.
How about we say, and preferably a commercial driver's license, ABCD?
I would say what Sam said, that within 3 months, you know, if you don't have one, within, you have to get one within.
Well,
I think
that'd be during the
preferably.
interview process. You
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
you could go get a CDL,
Yeah.
you know,
Right, right.
And by saying preferably, I think that signals that if they don't have one and we hire them, we'd prefer them to get one.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a motion to post this as corrected with looking for qualified candidates and preferably a commercial driver's license, class A, B, C, D?
I'll make a motion to approve the job posting for the Public Works Director with those corrections.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on down to road stock and harbor, we have a purchase order from a failed culvert on Sunny Slope in the amount of $1,824.40.
I'll make a motion we approve purchase order in the amount of $1,824.40 for the Sunny Slope culvert.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, we have a purchase order for service on the Murph compactor. That's their annual service and inspection of the compactors and baler for $1,859.87.
I
Go ahead, Amy.
I'd like to approve a purchase orders for the compactor service in the amount of $1,859.87 with discussion.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, discussion.
I would like to see the inspection because of Marty's comments last time.
The results of the inspection, man?
I would like to see what the inspector said.
Okay,
If you could get us a copy
can
of
you
that.
follow up on that?
Yeah, that's a good.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Next item, we've got a request to approve an agreement to transfer an entitlement that we had that is not going to be used by us, and so they have asked us to formally agree to transfer this to another via Conto Municipal Airport, actually. And it's in the amount of $53,000.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of funds. We didn't use the funds to Oconto County and City of Oconto in the amount of 53,000 with discussion.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion, Mike?
And I don't know that I'm gonna get an answer to this, but who makes the decision? I mean,
Of what qualifies to use the money for? Because we have lots of work that's getting done out there.
well, in Ashland, the city of Ashland and Ashland County, they each own half of the airport over there and they're having the whole thing redone. It's like almost a $4 million project. I would much rather see the money go to that project rather than Oconto County, but who makes that decision?
I'm gonna guess,
Bureau of Aeronautics.
I would guess
Probably.
they do, yeah.
That was my only, I just
Okay.
thought maybe something like you get a real chance.
Any other comments, questions?
Well, one thing it did say in this letter was that even though it was surprising, but we were like a disadvantaged airport, and so it goes to another disadvantaged airport. So Ashland might not even qualify.
Yeah, they have to be eligible to get the money, yeah.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, committee minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review those?
Yeah.
And does anyone have any questions? Okay, is there a motion to place these on file? From unanimous consent, rather, to place these on file?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, moving on, Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, we're being asked to consider reappointing Mark Pass and Jane Vogt to 2-year terms ending August 31st of 2026. Is there a motion to appoint them to the committee?
I'll make a motion that we have passed and Jane White to the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee for the term ending 8/31/26.
A second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, budget summary report. Everyone hopefully received that. And are you getting the detail now?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Looks pretty good to me. Yeah, for both, I think for both and budget. A motion to accept the budget summary report.
Motion to accept the budget summary report.
That Steve, give the.
Seconded by Amy. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is letter of opposition for Apostle Islands National Park, and we did it in the form of a resolution thinking that would carry more weight, signed by all the supervisors. And this was largely taken from the Bayfield County resolution, which is in the process of being adopted by them. I believe their executive committee approved it. The only thing really that I took out that was in theirs was the references to this not having been done without outreach. Because in fact, you know, we did have someone from his office, and it was the day before they introduced it. So rather than quibble about that, I just thought there's plenty of other reasons to not be in support of this. I would propose, though, since you all just got this, and I think we've heard that there might be some members of the public that might want to suggest additions, that we defer this until our next meeting and consider this a first reading.
Well, can we discuss it now?
Absolutely.
I would only say when I read through it, the sixth paragraph on the first page, it says has that 39,000 acres of land, has that been fact checked by anybody? That just seems like
Yeah, that is from the Bayfield County
so
resolution.
you took it from them.
It's, yeah, lifted right from them.
Well, if we're gonna have a first read, maybe it just seems
We
like.
can find out, yeah. Yeah, what I added.
I just want to make sure it's correct.
Okay.
Oh, I added the whereas the Tamala Point encompasses the whole of Madeline Island, blah, blah, blah. And the whereas Madeline Island's infrastructure is already stretched to the breaking point during the summer tourist season. So we'll consider this a first reading.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, review the current vacation policy. And I don't know, it seems like it's come up several times now where people have not realized that their deadline for using their vacation is actually their anniversary date of hire. And I was talking, actually, Sue and I were talking that it might make more sense to just have it be the same date for everyone. But, you know, all vacation carries over until April 30th, you know, and then the personnel, the payroll people can send out a notice, you know, in March saying, you know, hey, everyone. And it's not like you've got 60 different or, you know, however many, 25 different dates for lapsing of your vacation.
It makes it easier with the employees. I'm sorry, Sam.
Well, my only question about that is, if employees aren't aware until, do we run into the risk of them taking off time
All at the
all
same
at the
time?
same time?
Mhm.
Whereas if it's staggered at their dates, you know what I mean,
Well,
it's
that's
all
a good
over.
point.
That's a good point. And plus, the reason it's this way is because in the old days, in the summertime, it obviously gets a lot busier. And that's when people would get hired. So they'd make this the anniversary date. But you couldn't take your vacation days during this time of the year because it was busy. So you'd take it, and I kind of started it. You know, because I take my vacation in March, you know, in February, because it's not busy. And that's how we got to the extension of asking for, and then Barb started doing it and on and on and on.
Right, right. So
Between Sam's point and what I'm, you know, that's why we have it the way it is.
Mhm.
You know,
do we feel like we need to do something to maybe do some more communication with employees around the date of their anniversary?
Mhm.
I mean, that could be,
Yeah.
I think that when we're up and running again with the town administrator, I think it should be talked to department heads about, you know, if, because there's no good time to take time off. I mean, we just don't have enough employees in different departments. So when are you gonna take time off? It's gonna be in the winter time when there's less going on. But for some, like the road crew, the winter time, depending on snowfalls, it can be busy. So even though it's not busy for the MRF and the police department, whatever, it might be busy for the road crew. So you can really get into some difficulties there.
So you think it should be the department heads that remind people instead of payroll lady?
I think the department heads should be, let's say, go up to somebody and say, look, you have 6 weeks coming, so start taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, start planning to take it.
Are department heads required to meet with staff on a schedule basis? Like check in,
So, not that I know.
I'm just
They
saying,
should.
because if there's a certain time of year where they check in with their staff, like that's when it happens. It's just a overview of their year.
And we
They
may,
do annual evaluations, performance evaluations. I mean, that could be a time to say, you've accumulated a lot of vacation.
Yeah,
I don't know how we go about it, but like a town administrator should, have a meeting with the department heads or whatever. And say somehow it's your responsibility to talk to your employees and make sure that they take their vacation time within X amount. If you want to call April 30th or whatever, I don't care. But
there may be, and I think it would be at least worth checking in with. There may be something that the people that we're doing the payroll through have a communication, because I know when we used that down at the inn, there was communication back and forth, and so they could send messages. And so it might be something worth, it would probably cost a little something, but it might be something worth checking in with. Because do we use Paycheck?
no,
No, we do it in-house.
we.
Oh, because we've got that new system. Okay, right. But I wonder if the new system has something like that.
Right.
It could,
Yeah.
like a tickler for people. Okay. All right, are we done with that topic?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, agreement with Alder Engineering for miscellaneous consulting. In the course of trying to sort through the Herzl situation. I discovered that all of the times that the town has in the past requested Mr. Price to do additional work, research and whatnot, we haven't been paying him at all. And so he was getting less and less patient with doing that. And so I asked him for a proposal, and this is his proposal. It seems reasonable to me. I would like, if the board is inclined, to have it be effective the date that he signed, August 16th, 2024. He has already started to be more helpful.
I will make a motion to accept the proposal from Alder Engineering as 8/16/2024 as presented.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next item is vouchers.
I will make a motion to approve the town of LaPointe vouchers in the amount of $23,681.89.
Is there a second?
Second,
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Harbor Commission?
I will make a motion to approve the harbor designated fund in the amount of $121.38.
second,
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Miffle Utility?
I will make a motion to approve the Methville utility in the amount of $240,033.75.
second,
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, alternative claims.
I will make a motion to approve the current claims in the amount of $236,080.08.
second,
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Next item, treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to treasurer's report with a checking account balance of $460, $460,000, $278.93.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Next item, minutes, regular town board meeting, August 14th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular town board minutes, August 14th, 2024.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is ambulance, monthly ambulance report. This was delayed from the prior meeting.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I'd like to thank Go stepping forward for EMS. Sounds like she's working hard to get some folks signed up and we need them. So thank you for that.
Yeah, indeed. Any other comments? Unanimous consent to place on file?
Yeah.
Okay. Next item, police department discussion of police survey. And of course, John and Paul raised a good point and one that our attorney has also advised us on. The question becomes that there are some comments that are made in the comments section of the police survey that I think we need to consider the individuals who may be being accused of certain things that might not be fair to them to have published along with all the other comments. And so I think the purpose of this going into closed session is merely to discuss the possible redaction of some names in the comments and whether or not we want to pursue finding out from our legal counsel if that would be permitted. And so it's really a discussion for the town board to go through, and we don't need to necessarily go through in closed session. Everyone's had a chance to read the comments. And so the question really is, would you like to investigate getting names redacted where there are somewhat
accusatory.
And given the anonymous nature of the survey,
They can't face their accuser.
right. So the question is, would the town board like for me, before we release the comments, to consult with an attorney?
Just wanted to point out clear, statute is clear, there has to be an accuser, so they're considered hearsay if they're anonymous. They would not be held.
No, we understand that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Bill. So the question is, I guess first, we do have the results of the survey. Interestingly, there were about 660 responses, but only about 450 people did the numerical part. And that was it. 200 people only filled out the demographics and nothing else.
And that was it.
Now, I don't know if it might be that they filled out the demographics and they made comments and nothing else, because I haven't matched up that, okay? And I actually, it's Georgine who's doing this. Yeah, we had about 250 people make comments. Frankly, I'll tell you the overall results of the comments, which you've seen, people were asked Do you want 24/7 protection? Do you want reduced local law enforcement, or do you want law enforcement eliminated? The overwhelming response was they want to continue 24/7. Probably about half that number wanted to reduce, and only 5 people commented that they wanted to eliminate the police department. The comments also fell into categories of positive impression of the police department and negative impression of the police department. And in that case, and it was oftentimes specific individuals who were named, that in that case, there were about twice as many negative comments as positive comments, probably around 40 positive comments and maybe about 80 negative comments.
91.
Okay,
I wrote them.
okay, thank you. Thank you. I was doing that from memory. So that's kind of the broad brush on things, but so is the board directing me to, I guess, one, release the quantitative results, the non-comments, and to ask for our attorney's advice on redacting names where there are accusations made with no name attached that can't be defended.
I would say, first off, it's 90% of these, everything in here is an opinion. I mean, it's based on opinions.
Sure.
And so it's everybody's opinion of what, bad experience, good experience, whatever. As far as name calling and, using names and stuff like that, yeah, I think you should talk to an attorney and see before anything's released under the comments, what are we getting ourselves into if we just say, here, you can publish in the Gazette, Evan, and then there's a bunch of name calling and blah, blah, blah. It's like, wait a minute, that's not what,
Okay.
that's my opinion.
So can I have a motion to release the survey without the comments and seek legal counsel on redacting individual names that are accusatory?
I'll make a motion that you release all the parts of the survey that don't have comments and ask the lawyer if we should redact the names.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So the survey will be available starting tomorrow. From Jane.
Put it on a website or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would point out to the attorneys, whoever you talk to, that, we'd like an answer, not 6 months, we want an answer within a couple of days.
I'm gonna guess we'll get an answer pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So. All right, moving on, we have public comment B. Any public comment? What's that?
Left.
Oh, John?
I have a public comment.
Bill, okay, go ahead.
Well, it's more of a question. In the minutes, Sam brought up in the minutes, in the top of I don't know what page this is, but you were gonna ask the chamber if they, asked about the national park.
I did ask, they have not taken a position. They were going to be putting it on their next agenda.
Okay, so, okay.
Do we have any consensus from other neighboring chambers of commerce? And
Have we heard it?
yeah, we heard back,
Yeah, I think,
or have they reported anything?
yeah, I've seen a list of the letters of support that the congressman's office has shared.
Yeah.
And that was predominantly chambers of commerce in the northern part of the state and economic development committees or councils. I don't recall seeing like the immediate, like Ashland, Washburn, Bayfield chambers.
Okay.
I didn't recall seeing those names.
Okay.
So.
It'd be nice to know, though.
When is the chamber meeting?
I was afraid you were gonna ask. I think it's the first, I think it's like the first or second Wednesday of the month. Okay, moving on from public comment, liquor and operatives license. We have a request for a Class B picnic license for the Madeline Island Historical Preservation for their softball fundraiser. I'm guessing that's the Codger game.
Yep, the Codger game, and it's on September 14th.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve that picnic license?
Make a motion to approve the picnic license for the Madeline Island Historical Preservation, for their softball fundraiser.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And now I think we will go into closed session. As I don't know if everybody's who's watching this is aware, but we have received word from the Wisconsin Tax Appeals Commission that after their 90-day extension to make a decision, they've decided that they aren't capable of making a decision. They don't believe that they have jurisdiction over this case. And so I met this afternoon with our attorneys who've been representing us. And I would like to discuss that conversation with the town board in closed session. And also we have a claim by an individual for reimbursement of some damage to their vehicle as a result of a pickup at the freight building. And so I will read, the town board may go into closed session during the meeting for the purpose of conferring with legal counsel with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved in accordance with Wisconsin statutes 19.851G. After the completion of the closed session, the board will come back into open session to act upon the discussion in the closed session or otherwise complete the business of the meeting before adjourning. Is there a motion to go into closed session for this purpose?
I'll make a motion, we go into closed session for all of the things you just listed.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Mike Anderson.
Yes.
Amy Baxter, Susan Brenna.
Yes.
Samantha Dobson.
Yes.
And Glenn Carlson. Yes.